Hey everyone, Wicked Jutto here. Time for another Build My Bases. Today we're continuing Fairwater. So what I've been doing, like kind of in the background, is like rather than like continuing a build series where I just continually try to path the AI, I've actually in the background fixed the AI, so it's kind of working as expected. So we'll kind of show off the AI and then we'll kind of finish off this section. So let me test from here. It took way longer than I expected, but I'm glad I kind of did it off video. Just otherwise, there'd be like 3 or 4 episodes of me just like messing around with the AI. So let's kind of get into it. I just need to time it so they get into position. Okay, so we just kind of path up. And what you can see here is we've got like 4 enforcers like all kind of shooting like out of sync with each other. The way we do that. Oh, and one other thing is a lot of the times with enemies or the guards, they kind of just wander off, if you've ever noticed, or like they kind of try to walk into position before they actually start engaging. But if we respawn here, they instantly engage and like charge up their shots. So that's what we want, is like just kind of like that engagement from the enforcers there. I won't go into too much detail on how they've set up, but let me just kind of shoot them. And that one, the only other guards, these haven't changed at all. I've just put this up. So it doesn't like mess with the corrosive, but we'll take that out in a sec. The last change, obviously I need to put these traps back, so we'll do that in a sec. But the last change we've got here is a cannon back. So the idea here is players are like engaging with these flames, and this cannon back's just like shooting in from behind. So that's kind of the idea there. We couldn't really fit an enforcer there, the reason being, just make him be quiet. The reason being is these bolts have the potential to wipe out that enforcer. So I opted to put a different minion here, and we'll see how that goes. I don't think we want to open this up because that like gives the raider more chance to kind of shoot that flame trap. Raiders could jump up here, but they're not going to get that vision. So that's kind of the idea here. This can't host anyone, or I guess technically it could. The problem is, again, if this was an enforcer here, he'd get shot by this. Why I didn't put a cannon back here is because like really raiders are going to go through here. They're not going to kind of hang back here, so he's got no chance of like engaging with the raider. Okay, so they're all the changes I've made. I'll just hop back into build mode. The only other changes we've made is like kind of the kind of corrosive blocks. So I forget how it's done previously, but basically we've got all these corrosive blocks here kind of hollowed out. So the idea being is if raiders have demo cannon, if they shoot a bomb out here, more likely than not the bomb's going to like fall down and then into this channel, and then eventually into this pit. So any bombs, hopefully if playing correctly, they'll just all land in here. They shouldn't affect here or any of the enemies kind of posted here. That's the idea. Whether that happens in practice or not, it's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, we've protected against demo cannon as best we can. The only other way we could do it is just eliminate all these minions and just do something else. But I figure minions just kind of mix up the base a bit, so that's kind of what I'm going for. Okay, so let's now start putting back in these traps. Before we do that, I just want to double check this. So the question is, I think pulverize might be better than blockade. And I want burning piston in the off chance they don't see it and they walk in. And oh, this is interesting. So I think I want some blockade and some pulverize. Does that make sense? I think so, right? Again, I haven't really tested this, but what I've seen of pulverize, it's really good. So, like even better than blockade potentially. I'll leave one blockade just to like mess with like timings. We could even like swap it to this one. So let's make this blockade. And we'll make this pulverize. We just got to remove blockade. Okay. Cool. So far so good. Next. Okay, so let's remove this cube. So this now becomes engaged. We also want to put back in, what was this? I think this was a blind bolt shot, if I'm not mistaken. We could also do a bomb shot. Would that mess with anything? It has the potential to kill that, so let's just opt with a bolt shot. And we definitely want Hunter, and we definitely want double down. Yeah, I think we only need a single of that. Okay, and then flames. Doesn't need dragon breath. We could do napalm, but it doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't know. Firestorm. I think just leave it. I don't think it needs anything. That's fine. We don't want explode on this one or any other mod, to be honest. Like, the only one you could consider is unrelenting, but again, if raiders trigger this, they're not gonna fall for it a second time. Alright, so on to sentry. So let's chuck in the sentry. And we want this burst beam. I saw this in action, one of the random raids, and it's excellent. So let's do that. I'm not sure about target lock. We don't need extra bounces for sure. Target, I don't think it even needs to move that much, so I don't think it's going to provide much. I think just the burst beam. So let's do the same for this one. Same deal. Okay, so we're almost at 4,000, so we have 5,000 budget, 500 budget left. Okay, this is the tricky bit, is what do we spend our budget on? Because we could have, like, if I put another cannon back here, I think it's going to get noticed by the raider. So I'm kind of, oh, that's right. We want these opaque. I forgot about this. I don't think this matters, although we could do that too. But I just don't want raiders like jumping up here and then like seeing, oh, there's an empty block here, so I'll run here to safety for whatever reason, right? Same goes here, is I don't want the raiders knowing about this little pit. So let's also do this. Because any vision of this means, oh, this is like a safety place I can just jump into and, like, you know, collect my bearings or whatever. So let's block that off with opaque. Same with these guys. Okay, so far so good. Next level, same deal. Okay. Okay. So let's make these opaque. And then we've got like a sneaky guard around here. So the way this works is you can't actually place guards on this tile because it's not flat. So what I do is I walk the minion from this tile through the corrosive to here. And the corrosive here, again, just to kind of repeat, is to avoid players like getting into this spot and then like seeking cover. So that's kind of the idea. Okay, and then last level, same thing, and again, the guards are here, so he kind of paths through this diagonal. Okay, and then this side, same deal, so he's just hidden in here. Cool. Alright. So we're up to 4,030, almost 4,040. Okay, have we placed everything? Oh, wait. I reckon we had something here from memory. Yeah, maybe we can shove something at least on this tile. We can make it unrelenting. And possibly blockade too. Because, like, basically, if raiders are running in and, like, speed running, we don't want them to run back. Oh, that's right. We want this to fire through, so now I remember. These were flames, if I'm not mistaken. Reason being is flames doesn't block bolts. We want bolts to shoot this and then, you know, engage the corrosives. I mean, we could try this. I don't think I've ever used this mod. The question is, does it blow this stuff up? That I have no idea. Maybe we can just quickly test. So we just gotta be aware that the traps are engaged. All the traps that we disabled are now engaged. We're getting there. Okay, so we're just gonna like rush through. I just wanna... Did that not... Okay, so the important thing is... Well, these got blown up by this. Interesting. How do I feel about that? Interesting. New plan. Because what I'm thinking... Because this won't actually... Well, how effective would it be? Let's test. You know, the best, like, rather than, like, contemplating, is this any good? Let's just test it, right? So we want that. Do we want grease chains? I don't know. Oh, and self-destruct, that's right. So we'll grab and, like, self-destruct. Because the reason being is these arrows should, if, like, engaged properly, will, like, blow these up. So we'll give this a go. And the good thing about the chains is they shouldn't block these arrows, which is the main thing. And it should also pair well with those bombs. Oh, speaking of which, let's make sure those drop. Okay. So if we're kind of speed running across this, so they kind of explode, which is what we want. They don't really do anything. Like, I could just kind of skate around this. I guess if raiders were jumping out of the way, that would help. They did fire. I don't know. Like, what other choice do we have? We can't use pistons because they'll block the bolts as well. Can't have sentinels. I think we already use Iron Claw, so that rules that out immediately anyway. It is a shame we can't use sentinels, because sentinels could be better here with the self-destruct, but, you know, so be it. You know what I mean? Okay, I think just leave these. Like, these are maybe less useful with the grabbers. They're more used for the self-destruct more than anything. And they don't block the arrows, which is a bonus. Okay. Let's just keep them in for now. We can always watch replays, and, you know, if they're not being effective, we can, you know, swap it out for something else. Okay, let's see, how are we doing for time? We're almost out of time. Let's see. Yeah, there's really nothing we want up here, to be honest. The only thing I could think of is maybe like a bolt trap here. But even then, I'm kind of like, is that just a waste? Yeah. Yeah, I think it's okay. So we have about 300 to play with. What else can we do? What we could do... I wonder. How far do these guys pass? That's what I wonder. Okay, so my plan being... The problem is... It would be so far for them, even if this were to work, it'd be so far for them to path out of the base and back in through the base. Maybe we could engage them like halfway. Kind of pressure the raider in a second spot. So say we had like a guard here, for example, right, is that they don't like get all the way to here, is we just want them to engage here. Just a silly little, I don't know, Cannonback, Warmonger, probably not Ravager, because that they tend to kind of run to the Raider. I think just the trusty Enforcer would be pretty slick. Okay, so we just want one, right? We'll put armor on him, why not? I don't think we need vision, because it's not that far, right? We may as well just give him faster fire rate. We could also put a Ravager here, to be honest. What's more threatening? So say I was running through here. See, I can see maybe if I path him down, like to here. Sorry, let's do that. Just so he's not like on the hill there. So if I'm kind of coming up, still can't see him. It's only until here he starts to engage. I'm just thinking, would a Ravager work better? How are we doing for time? We're a little over time, so let's leave it there. Next time what we'll do is we'll try to set up this Warmonger kind of rushdown or something, but we'll save it for next time. So with that, thanks everyone for watching. If you like this kind of content, consider liking and subscribing. It really helps us out, and we'll see you in the next one.